Okay, so we actually got some new news today. Apparently, Disney is now launching a new TV show. Man, turn that beat down, bro. Turn that beat down. Ain't nobody trying to hear that. But apparently, Disney Lucasfilm is coming out with a new TV show, and surprise, it's something that was already created before. They're just gonna copy it or make it their own version, and that is the Knights of the Old Republic. So, yeah, as far as I know so far, they haven't confirmed if it's a KOTOR like adaptation or if it's just set in the KOTOR era. I'm pretty sure all they've said is that it's set in that era, so that can mean a few different things. If it were up to me, just stay away from KOTOR, bro. Just stay away. Like you can have it in that era, and you can have the wars going on um, during the show that you're making if you want, but it's when you start to dabble with these previously established characters and change them up to fit your show or whatnot, that's when we're gonna have a problem. You know, Disney's had many chances to make something good, and it just seems like constantly, no matter what character it is, they find a way to ruin it. The last one they probably really ruined was Boba Fett. Like that was like actually like a character assassination. The worst TV show, in my opinion, was probably Kenobi, just because Kenobi was a bum. Plus, he beats Vader at the end, which is just an absolute fucking joke. And on top of that, like, the whole Vader pulling Kenobi in the fire thing was absolute garbage. The Reva plotline, that's trash. Like, I don't have to say these things. Y'all already know how we rock out here. Kenobi, garbage. If you compare anything from the EU to this Disney slop, um, then I mean it's pretty evident to say that the EU is superior. Today we're gonna see what exactly is brewing with my man Ryan Kennel from RK Outpost. He's got the drop, he's got the absolute scoop for us today to really understand what exactly Lucasfilm is plotting, bro. I, for one, am worried.
Even though there's currently a Disney Star Wars show on Disney Plus actively airing new episodes right now.
Oh yeah, I forgot that there's Skeleton Crew. Let me know how Skeleton Crew is going down below. I haven't checked it out yet. I've seen like one or two episodes, um, but it didn't really grab me. I don't think. Uh, and you know what? It probably would have if they didn't fuck up so many other things like before that. You know, coming off the Acolyte, it's really hard just to be. It's kind of hard to forget all the crimes Acolyte committed. So, yeah, there's that too. That I'm still really jaded from Acolyte, if y'all couldn't tell. Kenobi crushed me, but Acolyte just it sent me to the shadow realm. Like I'm in the darkness now. You know, I'm making videos saying I don't like Disney's Star Wars. Like I don't like any of this. It completely converted me to anti-Disney. Before I was willing to give it a chance after Ahsoka, you know, even though Kenobi was garbage and it hurt me because we got to see Ewan and Hayden, but the writing was just so awful, right? So there's only so much you can appreciate out of that show besides seeing those two again. The worst thing about Kenobi was definitely like the whole Leia thing. Like it's just unnecessary, dude. And or actually no, probably Reva getting stabbed like 3 times by Vader and Anakin, and then her stabbing the Grand Inquisitor and him surviving as well is just yeah. But let's see what my man Ryan has to say. Let me know about Skeleton Crew though. Maybe I'll check it out.
No one is paying attention, and that would be Skeleton Crew. And a large part of that reason is one, the general audience that it's geared for, and two, people's complete apathy towards Star Wars at this point in time.
Oh, so that's what I have. I have apathy towards Star Wars. Yeah, that would actually make sense. At this point, I just frankly don't care what Disney makes. That's just how it is. Like, I'm sorry, but y'all have yet to impress me. Like, I'm not even gonna kid you. Ahsoka might have had like one good episode, but the more I read the EU, the more I realize that even Ahsoka's character isn't that great. At least in that show, there's just so many stories out there that they could adapt, and I just feel like focusing on just Ahsoka is just kind of getting redundant. It's kind of getting boring, you know. I don't know. There's cooler characters they could focus on, and they decide not to, or they're just not creative and they can't make their own. So
I mean, of course, last year we saw the complete and total pathetic failure of The Acolyte. And with the projects that have currently been announced, a lot of people are wondering, what's the next thing that they're going to desecrate? What's the next thing that they're going to destroy? And we might have an answer. It's not the first time that this has popped up, probably won't be the last time that this rumor or report has popped up. But here it is. Lucasfilm reportedly developing a Knights of the Old Republic era Star Wars series. And there's an important thing to note. One, that it's just a report from a fucking scooper and Daniel Rickman, who's not exactly right about everything. But two, he didn't exactly say a Knights of the Old Republic show. He said a Knights of the Old Republic era show, which could mean Knights of the Old Republic, could mean anything in that range.
if they want to be safe about this, like, sure, go ahead, make a show in the Knights of the Old Republic era, but don't make it about these dudes, man. Don't make it about Revan. Don't make it about any of these guys, man. Like, don't make it. Do not. Just stay as far away as possible from that shit, my bro.
In the Old Republic, leaves a lot to be imagined there, doesn't it? Rumor says Star Wars series set in Old Republic in development at Disney Plus. Another year starts.
That's another thing. I completely forgot that Disney Plus was a thing. Y'all are shooting each other in the knees with this Disney Plus shit, man. I don't know who's got to tell y'all that putting Star Wars IP on the small screen is just not productive for the overall brand of Star Wars. Star Wars was meant to be a grandiose soap opera that was supposed to be brought to us on the big screen, but now they're giving us some type of KOTOR that could be debatably, or at least possibly, could have been the biggest like scale conflict that we'll ever see, and they're putting it on the small screen. Like, dude, I'm not even a writer. I'm not a producer. I'm not part of Disney. I'm not part of anything. But even I can understand that that's just garbage. Like, stop with the Disney shows. Y'all put about what 80 million to 200 million into these shows, and they still turn out like trash. So just stop. If they're gonna make something serious, put it on the big screen.
And another Star Wars rumor pops up on the internet. Daniel Rickman posts over the weekend a few things he's been hearing regarding the Hollywood big franchise, including Star Wars. Via The Gamer, he claims to be hearing a show set during the Knights of the Old Republic era is in development at Lucasfilm. This would mean a timeline removed thousands of years in the past from The Phantom Menace and The Acolyte. The era references the 2003 beloved game by BioWare of the same name, which took place 4,000 years before the formation of the Galactic Empire. Listen, we've heard this thrown around a couple times before, and even as far back as 2019. I don't know how many of you guys remember this. I did a video talking about Kathleen Kennedy and Disney. Maybe they'll do a terrible adaptation and destroy KOTOR next, and one of the reasons was because what we heard Kathleen Kennedy saying. This is in April of 2019. This is almost 6 years ago.
Jesus.
Let's listen.
There's a little bit of bittersweetness in the air because this is the end of the saga, end of some stories of characters that we have grown to love. Do you think we're going to see any of these core characters?
Bro, this is a Disney Star Wars Celebration 2019.
That's so
again in the
cringe.
future, and is there an appropriate time to wait before considering that?
What is this little shill
there
cut?
is an appropriate time.
Hurry up.
We're using this appropriate time.
Yeah, we're using this was talking about the aftermath of Rise of
All
Skywalker.
right, yeah,
What are you
no one
guys
cares.
doing?
Yeah.
What's the plan? It's so funny to
Yeah,
actually
it's so
listen to some of the
garbage.
stuff talking about Dave and Dan, talking about Ryan Johnson.
Saviors.
She talks about female
The savior.
Filmmakers that are writing or directing or attached to any
Oh
projects.
no, we have several female directors that are working with us on Mandalorian right now, and we'll be doing the same thing with the Cassian Andor. And then
Again, like, keep in mind, y'all, like, it's cool that there's female directors. Like, it really doesn't make me feel any different way if she's female or not. It's not about gender at all. It's simply about the quality of the product, and the quality of the product has been garbage for quite some time. I can't remember the last thing I actually liked. Maybe Maybe Tales of the Jedi. Maybe like that was probably the best project they've ever made. I'd say. Um, at least the episodes with Count Dooku. But again, in those episodes, they retcon the EU, so yeah, it also pisses me off. Um, yeah, it gets me mad.
Conversations with David and Dan and Ryan have been that once we begin to block out the next 10 years, that will be a huge focus.
Yeah, female directors. How's that?
I don't know why that's the main focus. They need to hire people who know the fucking lore, man. Like that really should not be the focus. That's just garbage. And on that note, I'm actually gonna fucking turn off this video because that just pissed me off. Like that just got me annoyed as fuck. But yeah, if they do make Old Republic show, stay away from the main characters of that shit. Just do something completely irrelevant to the grand scheme of what's going on over there. They clearly can't handle war. They clearly don't want to worry about politics in their shows and films because people don't care about it, right? People don't care about how the First Order came into power, right? People don't care about logistics of war, even though war is in the name of their IP. Who cares about that? Lightsaber, bad guy, Palpatine, lightning. There you go, Star Wars, right? That's all they think about. So just stay away from the Old Republic, and we should be okay. But I want to know what y'all think. Should they be doing a KOTOR remake for Disney Plus, or should they just make something in the KOTOR era? Let me know.